If you clicked on this video, you likely want to know how you can save $60,000 on marketing every single year. Now, I chose this number for a reason because I took the average of some of the biggest money wastes in small businesses. Before I start, I'm Sava from Weblingo. I'm the head of marketing, and we do marketing specifically for service business owners. We've worked with many small businesses and can see a few patterns that emerge when it comes to the financials. And our last video was also on this similar topic, but that video was more on how you can optimize your current traffic. And these are actual expenses. Here are some of the biggest money wastes that you're likely making right now. You're probably spending $1,000 to $2,000 a month on Google Ads or Facebook ads. You're spending $500 to $1,000 a month on SEO. You're spending $50 to $250 a month on website maintenance. You're spending $200 to $600 a month on your software. So think your CRM, your appointment scheduling. Then you have local promo, which you're spending $500 to $1,200 a month on average. And then you have lead platforms like Angie and Thumbtack, which equal to another $200 to $500. Now, you might not have all of these, but you might have a combination of some. And I can confidently tell you this because from working with small business owners, we've seen these numbers be actually realistic. And I'm going to go deeper into what each of these actually mean. So the first thing is Google Ads. You're likely spending $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And you can also say Facebook ads. So half of the clicks that you're getting we're never going to call. You know your cost per click, but not your cost per job. And this is a big mistake that we see service business owners making because ads, there's nothing wrong with them. But the way that most of you are running them is flawed because there is not enough maintenance and upkeep. Because likely you're hiring an agency to manage all of this. And what happens with these agencies is they have dozens of client accounts that they're managing and a few VAs that are just managing this ad spend. And most often this becomes neglected. Each of these client accounts, since they have high ad spend, they need to be constantly upkept. And for most of these agencies, this is not tracked. And to be fully transparent, at the moment, we do not offer ad services. But from knowing the other agencies in this space, this is usually how they operate. So it's set up once and then never touched. You need to be able to know exactly how much it costs to get you a single job or a booking. And from there, you will have more accurate financials and you will know what exactly works and what doesn't. So the next biggest waste of money is an SEO specialist. Currently in 2026, it's currently April, SEO is completely different from what it was even 5-6 years ago. And that's thanks to AI. We made a few videos on it, how you can optimize your AI SEO. So watch them after this one. We can tell you that a lot of these SEO specialists, they're living in 2017. They're giving a monthly report. You do get rankings, but it doesn't equate to actual jobs. It's hard to attribute all of this. You're simply paying out of habit. That's what we noticed with most of our clients. The next thing is website maintenance. This costs between $50 and $250 a month. Most of our clients have started with WordPress websites. And we used to work with WordPress. And WordPress websites are notoriously known for having plugins that add up. Then you have the hosting costs. Then you have the web designer's fee. And on top of the $3, $4, $5, even $10,000 you potentially paid for the website, you're now paying hundreds of dollars every single month just to keep it up. So you're maintaining a website that converts at 1%. This price, this $50 to $250 a month, is not the problem. The problem is the website itself. Because likely the website that you're currently working with right now is not converting as well as it should. Maybe you built the website yourself, but still, you're paying at least $50 a month to Squarespace, to Wix, even if you built it on WordPress, if you're more savvy. You're still paying this sum. This is the low end. You're basically paying for a business liability. If you're working with a web designer, you have to pay $200 every time something breaks. I don't want to promote ourselves too much, but the platform that we use it's virtually impossible for something to break because of the infrastructure around it. Again, the web designer did not build it for conversions. This is what you have to keep in mind. This sum, $50 to $250 a month, again, it's not a lot of money. But when you're factoring in the amount of leads that you're missing, and I talk about this more in the previous video, this becomes a much bigger expense than just $50 to $250 a month. Then the next thing is software, $200 to $600 a month. Easily. You're really using 20% of what you pay for. A lot of these softwares tend to add up. These are trials that became subscription, and they're oftentimes auto-renewed on a card that you don't check. The next thing is a local promotion. Nobody found you through the bulletin. You sponsor because people ask you to sponsor. There is really no way to tell if any of it works. And of course, it does work in certain situations. But in 2026, in Q2 2026, this is not the best spend of money. You can include networking events, BNI, for example. It's harder to tell what ROI specifically you're getting because at these events, it's really hit and miss for people. Some people get very good results and others are just burning money. So be really honest with yourself if these things are bringing you direct revenue. The whole purpose of this video is for you to really think about all of your expenses and if they directly translate to revenue. Because the business that ends up being the most successful really is the one that keeps the most amount of money. Profit. This is the most important thing. Revenue is not that important for service businesses because it's supposed to provide you with cash flow. The last thing are lead platforms. Like these are Thumbtack, Angie, there's a few other ones. The problem with that is that you're getting the same lead that is referred to 4 other businesses and you're paying for them while they are still being reached out from competitors. And half of the leads are tire kickers still. We've noticed that, again, this is a very hit and miss lead source, and I would not rely on this infrastructure to bring you the best clients. This is not where the real money is. Here are 3 fixes. So the first thing is pricing, then reviews, and then the second touch. So you can cut these expenses by half, optimize these 3 things, and own a highly more profitable business. So the first thing is pricing. This is mainly on your website. You want to show your actual rates, what a service call costs, what a standard job costs. You want to be transparent. And hiding prices really does kill the sale. 88% of homeowners say that pricing is the number one thing that builds trust. Your competitors will not do this because they're scared. There's a stigma going around that you should always hide your prices, but it actually filters out the bad leads from the good ones. Next thing is reviews. The more detailed your reviews are, the more your leads will trust you. The volume, the amount of reviews you're getting is not as important. Of course, you want to add up reviews as you go, but a few high quality reviews will always outperform a lot of generic ones. You'd much rather have 20 well-written reviews with their initial situation, their transformation, their objections, and how you managed to solve their problem. Then compared to amazing work or Bob is an excellent plumber. This is not showing the potential lead that you're the plumber that they want to work with. So you want to respond to your reviews as well, even the bad ones, especially the bad ones, because let's say someone leaves a 3-star review. If you justify, if you defend yourself essentially while not sounding too defensive, you're going to win the trust of the potential lead who's reading the review. If you have multiple 2, 3-star reviews that are not answered, the lead is just going to see that you don't want to address this. If you address every single review, if you respond to the good ones, the bad ones, the leads are going to see that you're responsible and you provide good, honest work. Oftentimes, consumers do not trust a perfect 5-star rating. And this really depends on the type of business that you're in. But if you have, let's say, 10 5-star reviews, it's not going to be as effective as, let's say, 300 reviews and your average rating is a 4.8. So I would say Specificity is the most important thing for reviews, then volume, and then the next thing is the rating itself. Now, you have to be at least 4.5. If you're below 4.5, customers are not going to trust you as much. So, being between the 4.5 and the 5-star range is the ideal scenario. And the last thing is second touch. A lot of leads reach out and forget. But the shift you need to make is that you're one of many businesses to them on the first contact. So they're reaching out to 3, 4, 5, even 10 other businesses when they're facing a problem. If you're in a well populated area, they're going to look for many businesses. And the business who solves the problem first is the one who is going to get the business of that client. The research is clear on this. Clients want 2 follow ups after the quote. 48% of service businesses do 0 follow ups. This has been studied, it has been tracked. And another 44% do 1 follow up. All it takes is a single text 1 to 3 days after you send your proposal. Simply just do more follow up. But keep in mind, if you do over 3 follow ups, it becomes annoying to the potential client. So 1 to 3 follow ups is the max. The last thing I want to leave you with is the free tool that we created. It's the first link in the description. It's the only link. It's 10 questions or 11 questions. It takes you a few minutes and it's trained on our internal documents. And it will basically tell you the exact bottlenecks that you have in your business. It's completely for free. It doesn't require you to talk to us. And it's just a free tool that we created after having many clients facing the same issues. Go to the first link in the description and fill out the questions. Hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next one.